Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Planet Tyro. I'm your host, Donald Wanda, and I'm back with my...
eternal slave and pet cat, Old Boy.
That's right, son. We're back to do a dual recording like the old days of the Dreamcast, our old anime podcast, because we took the time out, we synced our schedule to talk about a manga title that we both want to talk about, because ironically, this is something the anime stuff recommended to me years ago, and although me and him don't see eye to eye always, I still think he has good, superior, elitist tastes. And this is one of the better mangas that I read, but because of its nature or its subject matter, I can understand why this might be a niche title for some. And more recently, I found out that you actually read it as well, and you liked it as well. So, well, am I wrong? Did you not like it? Am I wrong?
I liked it. I think it's a good time to talk about it too, because you were not very happy about romance in anime and manga. And I think I would consider it a romance title.
I've never been happy with romance and anime and manga, just because, not to cast a generalization, in general, Japanese romance stories, you forget anime, even in movies, they're very peculiar, and that's because of the culture, and that's because they have their own charm to them. Don't get me wrong, I love even, there's a movie that I'll put on screen, I can't remember what it's called right now, but this movie was a big deal, and it's a romance movie, and Japanese romance in the cinematic movie form is one thing. In the anime, it's 10 times more annoying, just as the old boy pointed out on the last video you guys saw about Love Hina, and there's a few titles like Kano, one of my obvious reviews. I'm doing a lot of callbacks right now, but there's only few animes that maybe are not shoujo, that are seinen or josei, that deal with romance or relationships in the adult way. This title we're talking about now, which goes by the name, the English title, the Japanese title first of all, is Onami Master Kurasawa. The English translation is Masturbation Master Kurasawa.
It's what?
Masturbation Master Kurasawa.
One more time.
Masturbation Master Kurasawa. Now, I know you're trying to be funny with it, but people, I'm being 100% serious. It's not a hentai. It's classed as a doujin because I don't think it got actually a commercial release. Am I wrong there? Or I think it was just done by the mangaka as like a independent offering. Is that right?
It certainly looked like it didn't have high production values.
True, the art style doesn't look, the best, but the bottom line is, another problem with this, although we do want to recommend it before we start talking about it, I do want to say that I don't think I could even find a place to say, hey guys, go buy it here legally. I couldn't find a place to actually say, guys, go and purchase it here, which is annoying.
Usually, I only use a couple sites. I don't think I was able to find a purchase option either.
I did specifically for this recording, I was looking for one because we do like to go the legal route, guys, and I do want to recommend it. So before we get into it, no, we're getting into this right now, actually. I do want to say this is not a deviant, pervy story.
Well, I think it is, but it's not like ecchi or it's not pornographic.
I would say it's more niche-y, and it's like, you've seen, when you see movies like Secretary of... don't dare I say 50 Shades of Grey, but I'm just saying it deals with a subject matter, a certain sexuality, certain deviantness, masturbation to be precise, that can throw people off. And obviously the title, you might think, I'm not going to read something called Masturbation Master Kurasawa because it's going to be about some guy jacking off. And it is.
It kind of is about a guy jacking off, but it's not all there is to it. Yeah,
it's actually a well-constructed drama, a good character piece, and honestly, it's actually one of the better manga I've read in recent years, and it's short. So, guys, cut into the chase. This is what... I'm going to read the synopsis, just so you guys know what it's about. Now, Masturbation Master Kurasawa...
Stop laughing!
It's a tongue twister. It's about a young kid named Kariku Kurasawa. He's an antisocial junior high school student. He rarely associates with his classmates. He's a loner, and he looks down on his peers. He kind of reminds me of Corona from Gantz in that way, actually, which is funny.
Except he jacks off all the time.
I think even Corona might have done it in Gantz, but his behaviour is topped off by a certain bad habit, which is masturbating. He likes to masturbate in the third floor of like a not often used girls' toilets on his own, obviously on his own, and it's something he does after school where he fantasizes about the girls in his class. And the story progresses when one of the girls in his class that is actually bullied on finds out that he masturbates and blackmails him to do certain things, which I'm not going to get into right now, but they have this weird relationship between each other, kind of a blackmailish relationship that
I like the relationship we have.
Yeah, kind of.
Like that time I walked in on you, and then ever since then I kind of get to do whatever I want.
That never happened. And basically, it's a story that deals with bullying, blackmail, heartbreak, and ultimately redemption for the character. And, you know, it's a very short... I don't know how many chapters. I should have checked it out. Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
Oh, I don't know how many chapters it is, but it's only like 2 or 3 volumes. It's a very short read.
4 volumes, 31 chapters. And it was made in 2007. And I have to say, man, when I want to recommend this to you guys, especially if you like stories like Welcome to the N.H.K, where you're dealing with characters that are realistic. Masturbation, a young teenage boy masturbating is not unrealistic. Boys do that all the time. Boys probably do that in school. So when I read the manga and I saw him jacking off in the store, it was like, okay, what the hell's going on? But when I saw he was a deviant and he had problems, he liked this girl and he was just an isolated loner, I could kind of relate to it because I felt like that in the past. And the story does well to establish a character and the little escapades he goes on. So, you know, I'll let you chime in on there, boy.
Yeah, I like the fact that this story is about a character evolving, which I think is lacking in a lot of stories nowadays, specifically anime and manga. They'll have like kind of a similar journey to this character, but it'll be more shallow. It won't feel like real. You know what I'm saying? Because he starts out, a lot of characters start out antisocial or whatever in an anime or manga story. That's nothing new.
Yeah.
But over time, and he starts out pretty deviant too. Like when he's whacking his shit, he has some really dirty fantasies apparently, where he's very disparaging against more popular girls. Specifically, you know, it's not like just I want to fuck him, wax it, it's over. It's like he has to like make them super. He has to soil them. You know, they're like this perfect thing that's on a pedestal for him to reach, and he has to just totally contaminate them in his fantasies.
Yeah.
But over the course of the short story, he interacts with more people, and he starts becoming, you know, he starts growing up. And I liked that one time passed by in this story and it wasn't like super drawn out. And over the course of that time, he very clearly matures. And at the end of the story, it was a very nice ending, in my opinion. It was, he reached adulthood, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
He did. He became a very well-grounded character. The end really brought it home for me. And I didn't actually think it would have such a mature and, I would say realistic, but even I've seen other stories where characters go the other way, or it has kind of a darker ending. And this one, it had an ending where this guy, he wasn't a bad person. And even when he was doing his little masturbation session or whatever, he wasn't hurting anybody. He isn't that kind of title where even when he was masturbating, like you said, oh boy, when he was masturbating, he was getting out his frustrations. He was fantasizing about the women, the girls being subservient and teaching them a lesson. And seeing that in the manga form as a guy, and who's someone who's been guilty of such things, not to this extreme, but I can relate to that. I was like, this is really something I can relate to as a guy, and I think it makes the character very interesting and very human. So, again, guys, I really have to stress, I really think you should give this one a chance if you're looking for a mature story, because this one, the title can throw you off, but I have to say, man, from beginning to end, it had an idea. I think it executed it very well, and it's a very mature story. So
yeah, I think I saw the title. I was like, this can't be good, and that's the only reason why I started reading it, because I was expecting to just close it after the first chapter. And it's a very compelling story of a guy who starts basically in a dark hole, and through his own merit, he reaches the light. What I really liked about that journey was, like an adult, he makes the conscious decisions and owns up. He takes the responsibility for the things he knows he's doing wrong and his flaws, and he molds himself into an adult, which is largely lacking in other stories. You know, there's always something else that can be blamed for a character's flaws, or a protagonist specifically, and you don't really get that in an Onani Master. He makes the decisions kind of like Kaiji, you know, he owns up to his own fuck-ups.
Yeah, exactly. Well, actually, that's a very good comparison. But I tried to think of other titles that I can compare this to, and I think Kaiji and Welcome to the N.H.K. are two good examples of characters who just own their shit and have to deal with the situation themselves. And that's why I do appreciate this kind of story, and I actually wish I did see more titles like that. Now, guys, if you're listening to this review or discussion and you've seen other manga that you would recommend that, hey, you guys only watch that now, you should read this, let us know in the comments below, guys, because we are interested in more sensible, sane-ish, or just whatever, just well-written stories as we do here on Planet Tyro. And the Manga Cat, oh boy, he's doing his little cat corner manga reviews, which I'm really glad to. And I have to say, well done so far, because I really have been a big fan of your writings, even when we did it on the Spill page. You guys don't even know about that right now, but we got him back on here to do this. And, you know, even though you didn't recommend this to me, I thought it was another testament to us having similar tastes, that I didn't even tell you I read this, and later on you were like, hey Don, did you check out this manga called? And I was like, hey, yeah, I checked it out a couple of years ago. So, you know, we got that synergy, you know, we got that good taste, and hopefully you guys watching this video who haven't read it will check it out because you trust our judgment.
Or not. You can be skeptical, just check it out either way.
But what I will say is, backing up what we just said, if you go on my anime list or any anime site, reviews are 9s and 10s. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, those guys reviewing it are, you know, super reviewers or whatever. I'm just saying that the people who have read this have seen it for what it is and agree with us on the most part. But sadly, on YouTube, you can't even find a review for this because maybe it's not popular enough, hasn't got enough awareness. And people, that's what we're about here on Planet Tyro. So
mostly, I mean, I don't know about you, but I always talk about stuff I like.
Well, that would be uninteresting if we, I love this for Hall of Fame, first class. You know, if we always talked about stuff we loved, it wouldn't be interesting. And
no, but think of the fanboys. Think about the people who are getting upset when you don't gush over the shit they like. They see the title and your thumbnail, like, oh, I like that shit. And they start watching the video, and then it's, you know, you're not like slobbing the knob of that show.
It's just not interesting, guys. I even you know, well, let's not get off topic. It's just not interesting to slobber over something, and you know, it's just not constructive when we just like to break it down. And you know what? To that point, what didn't I like about this manga? The artwork isn't that special. I think the character designs are meh, and that's pretty much the worst thing I could think about the manga, but I still think it looks okay.
I can't think of anything other than the artwork too. That's pretty beastly, you know, if that's your one flaw, the artwork's not that great.
Well, you just called it, we got to be constructive, and we can't just say it's great, the artwork is whatever, but it's so short, there isn't any, for me, there wasn't even any dead time, there wasn't like, oh, just get on with it. I think, not a criticism, I think there was, the manga ends and there was another separate special, was it a year later, that kind of wrapped up?
Yeah, it's an epilogue.
Yeah,
they had an epilogue.
Yeah, so.
And but for me, the length is great. I prefer shorter than longer. If something drags out, it's, first of all, everybody does it, so it makes your shit like everybody else's. But it's a lesser evil when it comes to flaws, is something being too brief instead of too long. Definitely.
So we'll just end this and I'll say I'll give this manga a first class. I was going to say high, but I'll let the animation bring that down a little bit. But even though I read it about 2 years ago now, it is resonated in my mind very well. And just in case someone asks me, would you want to see an animated version of this? It could work as a short OVA, maybe of 3 episodes, but I don't think it needs to be even a 13-episode series, and I don't think it will ever happen. But that's just, I think one of my friends asked me that, and I just let you guys know. So, first class for me.
Yeah, there's no way it could have turned into even like a 13 episode. No, that's dragging out again. But for me, I would probably say like a low first class. I mean, you're really that close to giving it a Hall of Fame?
No, I was high first class, not Hall of Fame.
I know, but the next step is Hall of Fame.
After high first class. Don't listen to this.
All right, well, to me, I mean, maybe if it was just a little longer, because it's short. It's basically, this guy starts off in high school, and at the end of the 4th volume, he's already graduated. It's very fast. So there could have been a little bit more content, but I still liked it. And like I said, shorter is not as bad as too long. So that's really it. The only knock, like I said, is could have had a little bit more content and the artwork, really. But the character, the journey he goes on, and the way he goes on, especially, specifically, makes it worth reading. You know, read it.
Read it. You got it. You heard it here first. So, guys, let's leave it here at that. Let us know what you think in the comments down below on the video. You can also Tweet the old boy at the_old boy on Twitter, and me at Planet Tyro. Simple as that. And guys, until the next video, we'll leave you here. Stay in, take care, and until the next one,
be sure not to step in dog doo.
yeah, and peace out.